for the soul of Nigeria. And we all are going to be fighting for our lives. And let nobody think as we go onto this journey that it's going to be a walk in the park. No way. It's going to be a fight. Yeah. And we must be ready to give it our all. Yeah. We must be ready to say, no matter what, we stand and we fight. Like the Hausas we say, Tapanjama Panjam. Whatever will happen, let it be. I see people every time who are afraid. We have been turned to citizens who fear in our own country. They've turned us to slaves. We no longer are citizens. I want to say to everyone, worth it. We shouldn't just say, oh, I'm just better than the other person. Oh, I just provided school. Nigeria, we should go beyond that. I want to see a Nigeria where we are fighting for the rights of animals. Where people are coming out and saying, do not cut this tree. Rather than fighting for people to be allowed to live. There are so many qualities, but I think let me not go too much and take over too much because I tend to talk. People always say to me, I say it's a God-given grace. I can talk for Africa. For the next 12 hours without paper, I can talk. But if you tell me to write what I'm just saying, I can spend the next 10 hours. I've not done one page. But everyone has his own gift. The next thing I'm going to talk about is loyalty. Loyalty. You know, when I was in a certain party, my first political party, one of the things that I heard a lot from some people was that, Ayisa, your loyalty will be tested. And I always say to them, my loyalty will not be tested because you all know I am peonized. And that was for a period. It didn't matter what it cost me. It didn't matter the opportunity I didn't get or whatever. I don't care. If I give my word, I stay with my word. Yeah. Even if it means that at the end of the day, I might lose my life or lose something that is precious to me. Because I believe my word is my bond. And no matter how tough the situation is, I will keep my words. And sometimes they say, Ayisa, you are too extreme. You are too extreme. Because I am one person who has always said, I do not do label. I am me. And I say it as it is. You will either love me or hate me. And either one is okay. So whatever label you give me, it's okay. And I know Nigeria will be okay. By the grace of God. Inshallah. Loyalty. Your loyalty will be questioned. Sometimes you are loyal, but still they will say to you, you may be not as loyal as you should be. Remember, for every one of us, there is a moral compass within us. And as long as you know that whatever you're doing, that before you and the Almighty God or whatever it is that believe in, you're doing the right thing, keep on doing it. Because for those who do not get it, they will go all around and they will come to a place and they will get you. They will say, oh, so this was it. So I say to every one of us here, please be loyal. Not just loyal to the person, be loyal to the cause. Be loyal to Nigeria. Be loyal to the movement. Stand and say, if my loyalty is tested, where will I be? Will I be on those who stand for what is right? Or will I be on the side of those who chose stomach infrastructure? Or whatever infrastructure that they want to choose? Loyalty. But you know, sometimes loyalty is punished. Yeah. Sometimes, or most times, loyalty is punished. Because you stayed on, it is sometimes saying, as, oh, we have this one. And so I would say to every one of us here who are aspiring to be leaders, remember, as much as you expect loyalty from your followers, that loyalty up, there should also be loyalty down. For those who follow you, who stand by you, who are with you, be loyal to them. Have their back and say, no matter what, I can't let down those who believe in me. So loyalty is not a one-way channel. It's a two-way channel. And if the people who believe in you, the people who follow you, the people who stand with you, know that you're loyal to them, guess what? They will give you everything. So in some moments, it might cost you some things. Because there's a price you pay for everything. But at the end of the day, when you gain the trust of people, the passion of people, you gain everything that they have, they put it in you, you will be better off. I have said before, and I will say again, the 2027 election is going to be a war. And I didn't mince my words when I said that. There was no water in my mouth when I said that. We all are going to be fighting for the soul of Nigeria. And we all are going to be fighting for our lives. And let nobody think as we go onto this journey that it's going to be a walk in the park. No way. It's going to be a fight. Yeah. And we must be ready to give it our all. Yeah. We must be ready to say, no matter what, we stand and we fight. Like the Hausas will say, whatever will happen, let it be. I see people every time who are afraid. We have been turned to citizens who fear in our own country. They've turned us to slaves. We no longer are citizens. I want to say to every one of us here, as we march on to 2027, that we all are citizens. We are not slaves. And the office of the citizen is the highest office in the land. And for those of us who will get opportunity, if God so wills, to be in office, we must never forget that indeed the office of the citizen is the highest office in the land. And whatever office that you occupy is a privilege that has been given to you from that office of the citizen. You do not betray them. Loyalty to the citizens is very important. A lot of people who thought 4 years ago that they were untouchable, today they are coming working among citizens, begging citizens. And by the time we get into campaigns, you will see more of them. All they needed to do was to be loyal to the citizens, and they would have had a walk in the park. So learn. Experience, they say, is the best teacher, but nobody ever says you have to experience it for you to learn from it. For those who have failed, learn from them. Since entering politics in January, one of the phrases I've also heard repeatedly being said to me is that, Ayisa, you are an activist. You are just coming in. We've been doing politics for 30 years. Some have told me they've been doing politics for 40 years. And I always say to them, I also have experience of watching politicians fail Nigeria for 40 years or 30 years. So if we sit at the table and we share the experiences that you have of running for office and I have of seeing those fail Nigeria, then we will come to a common ground that works all for Nigeria. I will soon round up, but I'm going to say something for our leaders that are here. Remember something. 2027 is going to be a war. It's not a war that money can win. It's not a war that it's money that will defeat it. Because I tell you, there are some people who have hijacked the purse of the nation and they have opened it and they are ready to spend it no matter how they want to spend it, because they fear no They have borrowed, 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 and borrowed again. They have borrowed the kind of money that the next 100 years probably our descendants will be paying those monies. And so what do we need? We cannot outspend them, but we can outpassion them. How do you outpassion those people who have taken over this country? Is by ensuring that the candidates that you feel are the candidates with competence, character, capacity, candidates that are courageous, candidates that have passion, candidates that will stand for Nigeria, candidates that are patriotic, candidates that have been there all this while, that have never left the trenches, that the people can see and relate to. It's not about the candidates that you feel the old politicians want to see. No. So until we get to that place, and this is a direct message to my party, the Nigerian Democratic Congress, when you sit down and we do those primaries, let's give room for people with competence, character, capacity. Let's give room to young people. Let's give room to women. Let's give room to adults, to men. Let's give room to people living with disability. Let's give room to competence. Let's give room for people that we inspire the people on the street. As much as we say we want consensus, citizens should sit together and come together and pick a person, but it must not be the basis of how deep your pocket is, because the world we are going for is not about your pocket. The world we are going for is not about who you know. The world we are going for is about those that can inspire Nigeria, those that are on the trenches, those that can stand and fight for our votes, those that can defend our votes, and those that will say, if they go low, we go underground. And I say all this today with all sense of responsibility. If we do not have those people, the same way you see our principles, as much as we're fighting for our principles, our main principles, okay, obey and conquer. So the citizens that are there that cannot see up to them must also see obeys and conquerors in their respective zones, so they can fight for them. This is not about money. This is not about the time that people who have failed Nigeria repeatedly decide to leave where they are and come into this place after we have received bullets, after we have been beaten so many times, after we have stood for Nigeria, and they come and they pick the big ticket just because they look like the old politics. The old politics will not win the election for us. It is the new politics that will win the election. Greater